long ago, in a quiet valley surrounded by rolling green hills, there lived a kind-hearted young woman named Laila. She was known throughout her village not only for her beauty, with her dark hair woven into a long shining braid, but also for her gentle spirit. Every morning she would walk across the meadows carrying a clay pot, filling it at the stream to bring water to her family. One warm afternoon, as the golden sun poured its light across the valley, Laila noticed an elderly woman sitting alone under a great gnarled tree. The woman had short white hair, and her clothes were simple, an old green blouse and a faded skirt. Her face, though lined with age, carried a dignity that caught Laila's heart. The old woman looked weary, her hands resting on her knees. When Laila drew closer, she saw that the woman's lips were dry, and her eyes, though kind, seemed heavy with thirst. Without hesitation, Laila tilted the clay pot she carried and walked toward her. "Grandmother," she said softly, using the respectful name villagers often gave to elders, "you must be thirsty. Let me share my water with you." The old woman's eyes brightened, but she shook her head. "Child, I cannot take your water. It is for your family. I have lived long enough with little. I can endure." But Laila smiled warmly. "Water, like kindness, grows greater when shared. Please, let me pour for you." She gently held the clay pot at an angle, letting the cool water flow into the old woman's cupped hands. The woman bent forward and drank slowly, as though each drop was a gift. When she finished, she looked up at Laila with tears in her eyes. "You are more generous than many I have met in my long life," the old woman whispered. "Do you know what this simple act means?" Laila shook her head, confused but humble. The woman leaned back against the tree and began to tell a story of her own. "Once, I too was young, with strong hands and dark hair. I carried pots of water just as you do now. And one day, I came upon a traveler who was faint with thirst. I gave him water from my pot, and in return, he blessed me. He told me that as long as I carried water for others, my life would never be empty, no matter how poor I became. His words carried me through many storms of life." The old woman placed her hand over Laila's, her grip surprisingly firm. "Now I see you, child. You carry that same spirit. Remember this, kindness you pour out today will one day return to you like rain falling back to the earth." Laila felt her heart swell. She realized the clay pot she carried was more than just a vessel for water, it was a vessel of compassion, of sharing, of life itself. She promised herself that no matter how hard her own journey became, she would always find ways to pour kindness into the hands of others. From that day on, people in the valley began to notice how Laila always carried her pot not only for her family, but for anyone in need. She would stop to give water to travelers, children,